Head coach Dave Cottle from the Bayhawks. It's Cottle's Corner. And first of all, we'll let the people know that Coach Cottle was inducted in the Loyola University Maryland Hall of Fame over the weekend, Friday night. Nice honor, Dave, and I thought it was a great evening.
Well, I thought it was a perfect evening, except we probably have to upgrade our master of ceremonies next year,
Hey, you get what you pay for. You get what you pay for, Dave.
You did a great job, Scott. We always appreciate all you do for the community.
What did it mean for you to kind of go back? I mean, all the years at Loyola and see familiar faces, and I thought it was impressive, and I'm kind of on the outside looking in, but it was an emotional night for a lot of people.
Yeah, that was the one thing I took away from them, those student athletes, how important it was for them to be recognized. And for me, it was, I haven't been back much. Mm-hmm. And so that was only the second time I've been back in 20 years. So it was great to see the people again.
Yeah. I thought Mike Morrison was a big hit. For those that don't remember, Mike, a terrific basketball player, had some time in the NBA with Phoenix, and he came back and said what it meant to him, and, with tears rolling down his cheeks. So pretty special night.
I agree, and Michael's a great kid.
Yeah. He's doing some Nike camps right now. Let's talk about your win. You lose at Boston, you come home, and you got to battle. You got to go overtime, but you're 1-1, and that's the good news, right?
Yeah, we were up 10-5, but we had two guys get hurt in the first quarter, and I think we ran out of gas. But we wound up being down by one and scored with 30 seconds left to tie it, and scored in overtime. Stephen Pizer scored a goal in overtime, and it was a good win.
Getting your first victory at home, that has to be special with the fact that we talked about your first game on the road. Some things didn't go the way you liked, but winning in front of the home crowd's got to be pretty cool.
It was, and it was a great crowd, and they really did a great job keeping us going a little bit. We're still not playing very well. I hope it's not lipstick on a pig, but we just have to play a little better.
But we always hear coaches saying that you can coach a little bit more, or you can kind of coach them up a little bit better off of a loss. But it seems like a team, you guys need a little bit of confidence going in the next game. Getting a win should help.
It definitely helps, and when you win one that a tough game, it brings your team closer. That evening they were together, and you could see they were starting to bond as a team.
And I'm sure, like what did you say? You're up 5, Dave. They came back and tied it, and at that point you're thinking, oh boy, you don't want to give that kind of game away, especially at home.
Exactly, Scotty. We can't give up our home games. Two of the first 3 are on the road. We've got to find a way to be 2-1 after 3, and we got a tough game with Charlotte this week.
How about Stephen Pizer's overtime goal? Was that something you drew up during a timeout? How did he score it?
Well, Stephen made the play. We just noticed that they weren't sliding, and we told Stephen if he went down that left alley and if he could roll back to the middle to give it a look, and he did exactly that and got to the middle of the field where he had a great angle to shoot and made a great shot. But that was all Stephen Pizer. It had nothing to do with the coaches.
Yeah. What did New York show you? How do you assess them this coming season?
I think they're a team that has a bunch of new bodies. They had everybody for the first time, except for their college draft picks, and I think they're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Mm-hmm. How about, you mentioned the 2 injuries. Are those significant, going to keep guys out for a while?
One was a hamstring, one was a quad. We're going to put Ben Hunt on the IR for 2 games, and Jeff Reynolds, we're going to make a decision. He went and saw the doctors today. He's about 75%. We're going to probably wait till tomorrow to make that decision.
Okay.
Coming up next, you guys are on the road against the Charlotte Hounds. How much do you know about their club?
I watched the film this morning from their Florida game. They got a lot of Maryland kids, Joe Cummings and Ryan Young and John Hawes, and a lot of ACC players. So we're pretty familiar with them, Matt Danowski and Jake Tripucka.
And going in, you're 1-1 and a chance to maybe get a little something going here, right? String a couple wins together.
Yes, and we pick up Drew Westerveld and Pete Pouillon come back.
All right.
And then Cam Holding, another kid who we think very highly of. We lose Jesse Bernhardt because he's coaching at Maryland. So we're still rotating the roster a little bit, but getting 3 offensive players back will help.
By the way, you didn't make that Friday practice, did you? Because you said you had to get out of there. You had practice Friday night, and I think we left there around 10 o'clock. So you didn't have practice at midnight, did you?
I wanted to hear Bill Cento speak. I'd worked with Bill for 20 years, and I thought it was the right thing to do, and I was glad I stuck around to hear it.
Good choice.
How difficult is it when you know you're losing players or gaining new players and kind of juggling the group that you have? It seems like it'd be difficult to build a rapport throughout a season with other players because I don't know, you can explain it to me more in lacrosse, but in sports across the board, it seems like understanding the guys you're with, having camaraderie, that's important as well.
No, I agree with you 100%. We go through 3 different rosters in this league.
Jeez.
It's one of the reasons why I keep telling them to start later. Play more games in a shorter period of time, but I'm just a coach, and I wouldn't listen to me either. But I think it's very important, and that's why, there's a relationship between your practice squad and your team. And, when you keep changing that practice squad and keep changing your team, it's hard to develop that chemistry.
Head coach Dave Cottle with us, Cottle's Corner, head coach of the Chesapeake Bayhawks. They're 1-1 on the road this week for their 3rd game of the year. Dave, I know you scout college players all the time. You keep a close eye on the college talent. What did you think of the seeding for the tournament that was announced yesterday?
When I've been on that committee, and I know what a difficult job it is, and the one thing I tried to do and play devil's advocate is we can't use one set of criteria for one team and use a different set of criteria for the other. Mm-hmm. Talking to Billy Tierney before the tournament, he thought he was going to be on a road because of their schedule.
Yeah, they're at home against Carolina, game. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, he gets a home game. And to me, is if you're going to reward Denver for being 14-2 and giving them a home game, then you should reward Loyola to be the number 1 seed. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. If I get it, if you go Duke, Syracuse, and the rest of the power teams, but don't make Penn 4 and don't make Denver 5 if you're going to punish Loyola down to 3.
Yeah, and Loyola coming off a nice win Saturday. They got Hopkins back-to-back. They come in with some momentum.
Loyola, I'll tell you, that was a good game to watch because Hopkins had been battle-tested and Loyola hadn't played a team in the top 10 since March 9th. And as the game went on, they just kept on playing, and they got better and better as the game. And that bodes well for Loyola. I think they got a chance at this thing.
How about Syracuse? They're seeded 2. What have you seen from them this year, Dave?
Well, first of all, they've coached their tail off. They've really improved to the face-off X. I still worry about their shorties. I don't think they have top-flight ACC shorties, and I think in the long run that's going to come back to haunt them.
Yeah, so obviously you got a lot of eyes on this because you got a draft coming up shortly, right, where you'll be grabbing some of these guys.
There's no question. This is a good time to watch these guys play at the height when it matters the most at the pinnacle of their sport. So we'll be looking at juniors during this time and any seniors that were undrafted.
Anybody offering $1 billion for a perfect bracket? Because I think I might have an outside shot at this one. There's a lot less games to pick.
The only guy with that kind of money is Scott. So you'll have to ask him.
Dave, again, congratulations on the Hall of Fame honor. I'm telling everybody I know a Hall of Famer now.
Yeah. That tells you what kind of trouble you're in, Scott.
Good to talk to you. Go get them this week on the road.
Hey, thanks, fellas, very much.
All right, head coach Dave Cottle, Chesapeake Bayhawks on the road this week.
Oh, what did you think? Did you look at the bracket?